Alright, welcome to Lesson 1, Initial Planning. One of my favorite quotes here, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So let's get started. So, first thing, determining your goals. With this course, you're going to be developing your own fitness routine and exercises. So, what are your goals? This is the first thing you need to decide. Do you want to lose weight and lose fat? Do you want to gain weight and muscle? Do you want to get bigger? Do you want to look stronger? Do you want to get stronger? Is that your main focus? Do you want to stay about the same weight but just get a lot stronger? Or are you just into just general fitness? You just want to get healthier. If you lose some weight, that's great. If you gain some muscle, that's great. Your goals are really going to determine what type of workout routine you put together and how you work out. So make sure you have a clear understanding of what your goals are. So workout frequency. You got to determine when you're developing a plan how many times a week you're actually able to work out. So how much time do you have available? If you say you want to work out 4 to 5 days a week, that's great. But do you actually have time to work out 4 to 5 days a week? If not, then that's going to be a hard goal to have. So plan on something that you think you can accomplish, especially if you're a beginner. Start off with something small, 2 to 3 days a week. And if you're able to fit all of that in, the 2 to 3 days a week, and each week accomplish every one of those days, then you can slowly add in more days to your workout program. And then the second thing to consider is how many times a week should you work out. And this depends on your training age or your training status. So just because you might have time to actually work out 4 to 5 days a week, if you've never resistance trained before or you've been sedentary for a long time, you probably shouldn't start out working out that many days a week. You're going to be super sore, you're going to be more likely to get injured, and you're going to be more likely to get discouraged from working out. So we're going to talk about that next. So how to determine your training age. A couple guidelines here. A beginner, you're considered a beginner if you are currently not training, or if you have been training for less than 2 months, only about 1 to 2 times per week. You're going to be considered a beginner there. You'd be considered an intermediate person that works out if you've been training for 2 to 6 months for 2 to 3 times per week. And you'd be considered advanced if you've been working out for longer than a year with 3 to 4 times or more per week. So figure out which category you fall into there. So, training frequency. Based on which category you fall into, these are some good guidelines to start off with your exercise routine on how many times a week you should work out. If you're a beginner, you want to start out with probably 2 to 3 sessions per week. Intermediate, you can bump it up to 3 to 4 sessions per week. And if you're advanced, you can be going 4 to up to 7 sessions per week. You want to try and schedule for training at least one rest or recovery day between sessions that stress the same muscle groups. And again, this is more important for those beginner and intermediate people. The advanced trainees definitely still need to make sure they have their rest and recovery in, but they've been training for a long time. They're able to handle much greater volumes and recover quicker than what beginners and intermediates are. So that's something to think about also. Your equipment considerations. So if you're designing an exercise program, you have to know what equipment you have available to you. If you want a bench press, but you don't have a bench press, it's going to be hard to put that in your program. So go to your gym or wherever it is that you're going to work out, take an inventory of the equipment, see what type of exercises you're actually going to be able to do, and put into your exercise program. If you put something in your exercise program, and then you come to find out that the gym that you go to doesn't have that equipment, obviously you're not going to be able to do it. So make a list, a short inventory of the equipment that you have available to you, and that's going to partially determine what exercises you're actually able to do. So your action plan / homework for this initial lesson, this initial planning, determine and write down your goals. Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to lose fat? Do you want to gain muscle and get big like a bodybuilder? Do you just want to work on general fitness? Do you want to just try and get really strong, but maybe not gain a whole lot of weight? Go back to those slides. Determine your training status and frequency. So again, are you a beginner? Are you intermediate? Are you advanced? And based on that, how many times a week should you start off training here when you're first doing your plan? And then make a list of equipment you have available and exercises you know how to do. If you don't know how to do an exercise, I would recommend going online, looking up videos of how to do it with the proper technique, reading descriptions of how everything is done. And definitely, if you're starting an exercise you've never done before, you want to start it with very light weight to no weight and slowly progress in weight as you get your form and proper technique down. But start off with exercises that you know how to do for each body part, and that'll give you a good baseline of what exercises you're going to use in your plan.